Okay, we're going to get started. We're going to do our tweets first. We start off with Anna. She works so hard with the ELL students and is willing to go above and beyond in being helpful. Laura, supportive of all who ask. Cafeteria ladies, positive attitudes. Tiffany, great job reflecting on her IGP and using it to adjust her instruction. So good job, keep the tweets coming in. All right, looking at our school goal, and we don't have to read the entire thing, but Sierra, would you just read the highlights of our school goal?
The number of second grade students increased from 47% to 75%, 95 students to 152 students, 89%, 354 of the students will attain their growth goal.
Okay, thank you. And what about our cluster cycle goal? Craig, would you?
The whole thing or just the
Just the highlight parts.
Elementary students will increase their problem-solving skills from 4% mastery to 80% mastery in the second grade.
Okay, and that's what we're talking about today, just the second grade. Identifying the need, I'm just going to kind of sum it up for you. We're working on, this week we're working on Echo the Question and our Fantastic Five strategy, so the students will be answering questions in a complete sentence. And of course we want them to increase their problem-solving skills. We would like to see 80% proficient or above. So our long-range plan, we are on week 5. Last week we did extra. This week we're doing Echo the Question, and next week we're going to get into one of the strategies of guess and check. So, previewing our meeting today, just like you preview your lesson, we're going to have some discussion about our student work that you brought from extra. We're going to connect the need for this cluster, touch research, hand out critical attributes. I'm going to motto Echo the Question. We're going to have some develop time, and then we'll summarize our meeting. So, identifying the need. Looking at your student data.
That there's obvious growth going on. Thinking about our IGPs, we can probably also reflect back on why we are seeing some of these, nice pieces of growth. Before we talk about that, keep in mind our goal is 80%. So if you're just hitting that mark at 83, there's probably still going to be reteach going on. So if you're only getting to 83 or 85, you still need to address, those needs with the students that maybe didn't quite get there that you think could get there. In my field testing for extra, I had also great growth. My students were able to find that extra piece of information pretty quickly. For my IGP, I've been thinking and working with grouping my students. I purposely grouped them this time so that they would have a stronger reader with a weaker reader, students that I knew would be able to help them through the struggle words, and then they were able to partner up by doing that as well and have one other brain to find that extra information. And they took turns locating it and crossing it out. So it's really made a difference to think about my grouping when using the strategy this month and making sure that they're not always just partners. So next week I might thinking back, okay, they've done really well, and I've reflected on this, with, like I said, on my IGP. They've done well with their partner work, so maybe this week I'll give them a smaller group to work in, and they each can read a certain chunk of the story and try to find the extra and see if they all come to the same conclusion. So just thinking about different ways to improve that.
And making sure that when you're thinking about this right now, you're thinking about getting those low kids moving up to the medium to the high.
Yeah, so with what Patty just said, what are some things that, thinking about your IGP and the lessons that we've been doing, specifically extra if you want to, or one in the past, what can we do for those low kids? The ones who are in the low group, we really just need them to get to the medium average. And then the next step, the average kids, how do we get them above and beyond being proficient? What are some things that you've been thinking about?
There were a lot of students who got done pretty quickly. And in my IGP, I'm focusing on lesson structure and pacing. So when I was reflecting, I was kind of thinking about what I could do with those early finishers, and I feel like I kind of needed to have an extension activity, a related extension activity that my early finishers could do, so like the higher students could do that, and that would give my medium and low students some more time to focus on the beginning activity, and then it would give me more time to give them some extra support where needed.
Right.
So